Get situated. Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of the Spilled Milk Podcast. Thank you for tuning in this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode.
Welcome.
We are going to be doing some more of the Reddit reactions like we did a couple weeks ago, so we hope you enjoy. So this one is titled, My Mother Ruined My Life. So first off, when I was a child, my mom stabbed my dad. She didn't know that I saw. It was very gruesome, and I loved my dad a lot. My mother hated me, and she saw that I was jealous, and my dad loved me and not her. She tried to kill me once by suffocating me. Anyways, when the police questioned me about my dad's stabbings, I told them that I saw my dad stab himself because I thought my dad died from the stabbing, and I saw this as being taken away from the ambulance, and my mother was all I had left. Also, they questioned me right after in front of my mom, and I didn't want to betray her. I was like 8. The courts banned me from seeing my dad. I saw him once after that when he came to my school, but my mom found out and punished me. He got a brain tumor, and she didn't let me see him while he was dying either. The guilt of everything that happened and me lying to the police ruined my life. At 34 years old, I've suffered every day of my life. My mom learned from that moment on that her lies get her whatever she wanted, and she continued to lie for the rest of her life, putting my sister and I against each other, making me the scapegoat, telling everyone I was bad. She's gotten her way with everything. In fact, my sister thinks I'm the liar, and I am manipulating my mother. One time she told me that only those things are going to hurt our family and are willing to lie, and that's the best and strongest way to survive. She is right. I'm weak.
That is so horrible
Damn.
and sad.
I know.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
I feel so bad for people who have been through situations like that where something really traumatic happened when they were a literal child, and then they have to like hold that guilt forever, because realistically it's like, yeah, they did lie and to protect their mom, but they were 8, and it's like they have to. That's so like shitty of the mother. Like, fuck that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
She did this to her child, and it's her fault, and her kid shouldn't be suffering. But he is.
Her mom literally stabbed her dad, and the daughter felt so guilty that she said, "No, my dad stabbed himself."
Yeah.
Oh, the poster's a girl.
Yes.
Might be.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then now her sister thinks that she's lying about everything because she's so in love with her mom.
Does her sister think that she's lying about, like, is she trying to say, like, no, he didn't stab himself, mom stabbed him, and the sister doesn't believe that? Or like,
yes, yeah. So the poster saw her mom stab her dad, and then she came forward and said, no, it was actually my mom that stabbed my dad, not my dad stabbing himself. And her sister's like, that's not true. Mom would never do that. Mom never lies. And is like, all on her mom's side. It sounds
so awful.
I know, right?
And it's sad because, like, in that situation, you want to be annoyed with the sister too, but it's like the sister is also a product of the mother, and the mother has again failed another child, just in a completely different way.
I bet you the mom's name is like Tiffany.
Shout out to all the Tiffany's out there.
I don't know. I thought that one was funny.
Funny.
Well, just because it's so like back and forth. Obviously, it's unfortunate for the girl, but I just think it's funny that like she was manipulated by her mom, and now she like doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And she's like, it happened 20-something years ago.
I mean, realistically, if she went to the police or whatever, like, and told them that, like, no, I lied.
Yeah.
Like, would they even do anything? Would they take it seriously? Would they reopen the case? Probably not.
If you have the right cop, they might, but I don't know. I'm kind of like, to that.
And it's just sad too, because then it's like the father, who is now dead, it's like everyone has gone all this time thinking that he was this terrible person, or just that he like killed himself or something, and he didn't.
Yeah.
He was literally murdered.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's horrible. So
Dude,
sad.
fuck that.
I found one that was kind of
Okay.
It's called, and by the way, this is from a thread called True Off My Chest. So these are all like confessions that were today.
Mm-hmm.
So, title of this one: I sent my child to wilderness therapy and I'm not sorry. My daughter is a sociopath. Ever since she was a child, she never seemed normal. She was always drawn away from us and very hostile. My partner and I lock her in her room at night to protect ourselves and to make sure she doesn't get into anything dangerous to harm us. We have caught her trying to get into our gun safe, as well as multiple attempts of grabbing knives from the kitchen to try to kill our son. We have tried everything. We have given her love, attention, toys, heart-to-heart conversations, one-on-one hangout days, and therapy. We even admitted her to a mental hospital for a year because she kept threatening to kill us and her little brother. Nothing has worked. Her therapist tells us everything we already do. Every other day we plan family game night, just dance, bingo, etc. And it always ends with my daughter threatening to murder us in our sleep. She was soon after in a mental facility for 2 years after that, and when she came home, she was somehow worse. It got to the point where I was afraid for my family's safety, especially our son. So I looked into wilderness therapy. Before anyone says it's bad, I know it's bad. I know how they treat the children there. At this point, I just want my daughter gone. This family has taken enough of her abuse, and I have tried to make sure it didn't get to this point. I even asked family members if they could take her in, and they all declined because they are all afraid of her and don't want to handle her. So I admitted her in, and she leaves Monday. She is 16 and will stay there until she is 18, where she can check herself out and leave. Before anyone calls me a bad parent, understand that it's hard to have a child be a part of your life when they grab a knife from the kitchen in the middle of the night and try to unlock your door to kill you, or when they try to drown your other child. I understand this will be hard for her. I will always love my daughter and will miss seeing her, but she needs to know that this happened because of her actions and negligence. And then there's an edit, and they said, for those asking why I can't put her back in a hospital, she always gets sent back early with therapists claiming she has made improvements and is not a threat to us. I understand many people are wanting her to go to a hospital instead, but they keep sending her back and ignore my words when I tell them what she has been doing to us. They shrug it off and send her home. Also, a lot of people are commenting that I am throwing my daughter away, when that is very far from reality. I love my daughter with my whole heart, and I never want anything bad to happen to her. However, I need to make sure my family is safe from her, and this is the only way I can do that. I also want to know I will update when I tell her and read the note she will receive when she gets there.
Whoa.
Yeah. Also, have you guys heard of wilderness therapy? Because I've not heard of that. I don't know what they do there.
I'm assuming they just send the kid like into the middle of the woods, right? They probably just send the kid to the middle of the woods, have a bunch of camp counselors, and then have a bunch of like mental health sessions throughout the day.
Like camp counselors that are like kind of mean.
And they like kind of treat them like shit. Yeah.
Wilderness therapy, also known as outdoor behavioral health care, is a treatment option for behavioral disorders, substance abuse, and mental health issues in adolescents. Patients spend time living outdoors with peers. Reports of abuse, deaths, and lack of research into efficacy have led to controversy.
So it's an unethical place.
It
so
sounds like they kind of just send them out and are like, survive. Like,
I would love that.
You want to get sent to wilderness therapy?
Yeah.
You should go on Naked and Afraid.
Should I?
Honestly, though,
you should.
Real talk, though, I think a lot of these types of programs where you send like troubled children, like there's always some sort of issue with it.
Yeah.
And it's like hard to draw the line because it's like, yeah, these children are bad and they're acting out, but it's also like, that doesn't mean you can send them somewhere and like literally torture them. I don't know.
That's true, I guess.
I also want to play like devil's advocate. And like as you were reading that, I thought of the parents as the problem. It started somewhere, right? Like there's no way you just have a kid who is murderous.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Probably not.
Like kids learn from things that they see and hear. So you can't like take the parents out of the picture.
Yeah.
Like, she must have learned it somewhere.
And I think that's the hard thing with any of these posts that you read is you never know how true they are. Because a lot of people do just come on and make shit up.
Sure.
But it is hard because like I don't know, part of me believes that, but I also do kind of believe that some people are just born crazy and nothing you do can fix that. And I think that you see that when you look at a lot of different like serial killers. A lot of them, I mean, everyone's going to claim that they like grew up in a loving household. Like, and a lot of those stories about famous serial killers, like you do hear that they came from a loving family. Some didn't, but some do. And like they still turned out that way. And like we talked about in our last episode too, it's like there is like a chemical, like they are built different. And I don't know if we can change that. Like at least not where science is right now.
But in a lot of those cases, it's also like there's something that caused them. Like in some cases, yes, they are literally just born insane. But like I've heard in like psychology class that if a kid was raised by their grandma who posed as their mom, like something happens for the worse.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, but then it's like, look at all the people who come from traumatic upbringings and households who don't turn out literally insane.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's like a human default in trauma in childhood to become like murderous.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I've heard people saying that like in the future we're gonna have like shots and like pills to like cure mental illness like that.
What?
Yeah.
How far into the future?
I don't know. I saw someone talk about it and they were like, yeah, I think at a point we're literally gonna have pills that like if somebody killed somebody that we like give them a pill and then they like don't have that happen anymore, where they don't think of it. Not like a medication, it's almost more of a like a stimulant blocker. Because like antidepressant meds are kind of like that. They like up certain hormones in your brain, so you only think about so much. You don't necessarily think about depression.
Yeah.
But now turn that into like murder and that type of stuff.
Okay.
I just don't know if I could see that working like completely. At least not anytime soon. Maybe like if it gets more developed, it'll be different. But I've heard stories about like pedophiles who have been chemically castrated. And it's like, yeah, like it kind of changes something, but like it doesn't, like the thinking about things and like it just doesn't go away though. So I don't know. It's like weird.
Yeah.
All mental illness. Like we just don't know anything about the brain, genuinely.
Do you know how much different society would be if we like fully understood the brain?
I feel like it would solve a lot of problems, but it could also like lead to more problems.
Yeah. True. All right. So this one is my 26 female husband, 26 male, has gotten really close to a female classmate. Sussy. So the last 6 months have been a roller coaster in our relationship. A lot of constant fighting and overwhelming emotions. That's never really happened to us in our whole marriage/relationship, 7.5 years. There has been an instance where I've been given a few reasons not to trust him, including this newer relationship with this female classmate. For a good majority of our relationship, he's never been interested in hanging out with anyone, mostly because his old friends were a really bad influence or their lifestyles didn't align with his. He's got a good head on his shoulders and he is very loyal. Even with the female friends, he's picky and makes sure not to be around women that flirt or would try anything like this in general. Not that he would be tempted anyways. This new friend of his is very respectful, religious, and she treats my husband very well. I've been a lot better these past few weeks, but before that I was very compulsive and would not say anything to make sure that he would give me reassurance, to the point to where it was very overwhelming and I needed his assurance. Mind you, he's already the type to reassure me constantly without even asking, but my jealousy took over. I was very emotional, which I'm sure pushed him a lot closer to her. I know that my feelings are valid too, especially since this is all new within our relationship, and I never expected this dynamic to happen to us to the extent that it has. I guess I'm just needing success stories where people got through jealousy or how people overcame this phase. I love my husband. He's so patient and understanding and has never stopped me from hanging out with my friends. I know he deserves meaningful relationships, which he does not have a lot of meaningful relationships besides ours. I really want to get over this hump so we can be happy and live our life and that he can live his life freely without my insecurities. I also I do not want to feel like this anymore, and I want him to be happy and I want me to be happy, and this is not worth my time. And then what does TLDR stand for?
Too long didn't read.
So then it says TLDR, my husband has gotten close to a female classmate during a point in our relationship. They hang out all the time and I want this to be okay, but I can't. What do I do?
I'm kind of confused what the problem is. Is it just that he's spending a lot of time with her?
Yeah.
Is that like
And she's
He
just
doesn't
getting,
hang out
she's
with
just getting jealous.
Yeah. He doesn't hang out with a lot of people, and now he's hanging out with her a lot. But apparently she's a really nice person and like
Yeah.
very kind to him.
I mean, it at least sounds like the poster is not approaching it in a toxic way. Like, it seems like she's genuinely like, I know that it's like not fair for me to feel this way. Like, how can I be better?
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough. I feel like jealousy is not something that you can just like talk yourself out of, you know? And I think like with the situation, that would be tough if he doesn't usually hang out with people and then all of a sudden he just wants to be with this one girl all the time. Like, I think that would make me feel like kind of jealous and insecure also. But I think that this seems more like an advice post, but it just seems like all she can really do at this point is like remind herself of what she just said there, that like he is loyal, he is trustworthy, he's never given her a reason to doubt his loyalty. I don't know. I don't have
with the type of guy that he is. At the end of the day, you're in a relationship. You have to trust your partner.
Like, they're married.
Right.
They've been in a relationship and they're married for 7.5 years.
Yes.
How old were they again? Like 24?
Like 26.
26 and 29.
Yeah. They're also a bit younger. So
yeah,
that makes it hard too.
It just sounds to me like she's just like, just insecure. She's just like, you can't fix that, obviously. But it's like, you're worried about it. I know this is hard to hear for her, but it's like, just find out how to not be insecure and just be okay with what you're doing.
You just have to trust him. That's the best you can do.
Like, if this girl actually likes the girl and like respects her enough to say like, no, she's very kind and like very, very nice to him, like a good person.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like,
I've had that happen to me before.
Yes.
When someone thought I was in love with one of our friends.
All right.
Wait, am I missing something here?
You know.
I think I've told
we'll
you before.
I think I know, but I don't remember.
You do know. You definitely know.
I probably not.
But
the way this dude said that, Perch said that, and then just goes and just stares at you and just goes, yeah, I wonder who did that.
Well, it wasn't me. Like,
but like, you know,
I know what he's talking about. I know exactly what he's talking
about. Like there's in that position as the guy, there's not much more I can tell you.
Yeah.
Like there's no way for me to prove it.
Well, and he seems like a calm enough guy to like, if he did do something, he would have said, hey babe, like,
maybe
I messed up. I mean, maybe not. You're right. Yeah. I'm just thinking like, it doesn't seem like there's any issues in their relationship.
Yeah.
But again, it sounds like she's genuinely like coming onto Reddit to be like, I know it's not fair for me to feel this way. Like, how can I fix it? So that's why I don't think she doesn't sound like she's like doing anything wrong. I don't know if they've had a conversation yet, but I think in those situations, it's always good to just bring it up and like let him know how you feel about it. And that doesn't necessarily mean that anything's going to change, but at least like it's out there what you're thinking and how you're feeling. And he's aware of that. And maybe he'll be a bit more conscious about it. But it's also like maybe what she needs is just a one-time like reassurance, like, oh, hey, like I hear you. Like, and I want you to know, like, truly, like we just are good friends. And like, that's it. And maybe just hearing those words once will like make her feel better, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, at the beginning she said, I think they're fighting too. So I wonder if it's like, is she starting the fights too and is like, stop hanging out with her? Or is it like, why do you always hang out with her and not hang out with me?
Yeah. I mean, I do think with that too, it's also like, it's so important that when you approach a conversation, you don't just jump to accusing. You have to like talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
People are way too short triggered when it comes to just like accusing people of just like random shit that like does not matter.
But I do think the context of their relationship matters. Like, it sounds like they are a young couple if they've been together like 7 years. They got married young, probably when they were like 18, 19. So it's like, that's probably like the only relationship she really knows in her life. And it's just, I think people go a little crazy when they feel like something is that they love so much is like slipping away. And I think that's just kind of like where she is. But
I want to know her dating history before she met this guy.
Yeah.
Like, how many boyfriends did she have? How long were they?
How
Why
did
did
they
it
end?
end? Yeah, like that's what I want to know. Because if it's like every single time, it's like, no, I just felt like he was into someone else, or like he broke up with me, or blah blah blah, or like what's the situation? Like, what hurt you that much to where you're like so worried about it? You are married. Like, you are literally legally and financially bound to this other person.
Yeah. I think it's
so
just...
I'm kind of like, what?
I really think it's just communication, talk.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, it really is kind of like up to her to fix. And I mean, I could see like, if he spends more time with this girl than he does his wife, then maybe the solution is like, he can still hang out with her, but can we maybe spend more time together since we are married?
Can we have some more married time
But it's
together?
also like, if you can't find a solution, it's like one of those things you have to decide if you can live with it or not. Is this the hill you want to die on in your marriage?
Because then if they split up and like she divorced him because she was all worried about it and he was like, no, nothing has literally ever happened. She's just a friend.
Yeah.
Then she's going to feel guilty.
But then what if he ends up with her? It's like when they end up with a person that they told you not to worry about. It's one of those situations.
I mean, yeah, that would suck, but like, you know?
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It does sound like the main issue, though, is like her own insecurities. And that's something that she has to work through.
Yeah.
I saw this other one, and I see posts like this a lot, and I feel like it could lead to a good discussion. But this person just said, I forgot it was my birthday, and I'm alone.
Oh, no.
I'm 32 today. Nothing special. No big deal. In fact, I was reminded it was my birthday via a phone call from my mom. So I'm here at work, keeping quiet, doing my job, and feeling kind of down. Now that I've been reminded that it's my birthday, not the first time I've forgotten, I plan to turn things around for me tonight. Gonna smoke some weed, treat myself to a nice steak dinner, and go watch Oppenheimer alone. Cheers. But I see posts like that all the time where people are just like, I forgot it was my birthday, or no one remembered that it was my birthday and shit like that. And I feel like this topic of just like anniversaries, holidays, birthdays, like they're so overrated. And I feel like they always just like, you have this big expectation of how they're gonna go, and they're always disappointing.
I love birthdays. I'm never going to forget that it's my birthday. Like when it's June, trust me, I'm thinking about my birthday in like March. I'm like, shit, like my birthday's almost coming up. So like that's hard for me to like empathize or even sympathize with that. I'm just like, I just don't forget.
I would never forget my birthday too, but I do always feel disappointed on my birthday because I always think it's going to be more fun than it is. And I think that's also an age thing. Just like when you're older, they get less exciting.
Yeah. That's how, my grandma's birthday was yesterday, so we gave her a call, and she lives in Thailand, so it's like she was just there in the house, just doing her normal day. And we asked her if she was like going to dinner or anything with my other relative. She was like, nope, just staying home today, doing my fucking thing today.
Yeah.
That's such an old person thing to say. They're like, nope, I'm just gonna have my tea and just chill at the house all day.
I mean, especially when you get to that age, it's just like, well, another fucking year. Like you've had like what, 70 birthdays?
Yeah.
Because it's what, like probably like 1 through 16 are like really impactful.
Yeah.
And then 17's stupid.
Yeah.
18's cool.
18's big. 21 is cool.
20's cool because you're not a teenager, but then 21 outshadows that because like you can drink, but then it's like 25, then 30, and then it's like
I feel like it's like decades.
And then it's like 50.
Yeah.
And then 65. And then like 80, like 80 or 100. Like, I don't know.
It's weird though, because I feel like once you reach like 40, they're like depressing. And then you reach like 80 and it's like, whoa, she's 80. And then they're like excited.
Yeah.
Again.
Everyone's like, you're 80 years old. Like, wow, you're really old. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But also not, because you can't really do anything for yourself.
Yeah. Maybe. But I don't know. I think my point is just that we put too much weight on birthdays. And like they should be fun still. But I don't know. It makes me sad because I do think I know a lot of people who just like feel that way about birthdays, or it's just like, like, and I kind of feel that way sometimes too. But I think we just need to, they're just another day, and they can be about you, and you should do something fun. But like, don't be sad if it's like not the most exciting day in the world.
Yeah.
It's still like your birthday.
He was what, 32? Like,
yeah.
You're 32. Like, you're not having an exciting birthday for another 18 years, bro. Like, you better get ready. Like, you could argue, like, maybe 40, like, every decade, but, like, even turning 40, you're like, yeah, I'm 40. Cool. I mean, you're out of your 20s, you're out of your 30s. Good for you.
I feel like you have, like, no empathy. You're just like, whatever.
Well,
I'm just like, get over it.
Well, I'm just like, literally, birthdays are cool. And literally, to me, they're cool until you turn 30. Because, like, you're out of your teens, you're out of your 20s, like you're 30 now, you should be getting your shit together. But then it's like, after 30, it's like, wow. Like, what's the difference between turning 32 and 46? Literally nothing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It
That
would
is
still
true.
suck to just be alone on your birthday because it sounds like his mom is the only person who remembered.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
that's
that's
kind of
sad.
that is kind of
But
sad.
good for him. Like, yeah, go home, smoke your weed, eat your steak, watch your fucking movie.
Yeah.
And honestly, if he has a great time doing that, I hope you have a great birthday.
Yeah.
You know, if you're forgotten you're alone, hey, if you can do all these things for yourself, that's
Yeah.
all that matters, bruv. Like, why not?
We wish you a happy birthday, sir.
Yeah, happy birthday. Happy 32nd birthday, Reddit user.
What's the username? Muffuga Jones.
You're lying.
That's what.
Motherfucker Jones.
MUHFUGGA Jones.
I didn't get it until I read it out loud. Motherfucker.
Motherfucker Jones.
Motherfucker Jones.
That's great.
Hey, I hope you have had an absolutely bitchin' birthday.
Yeah.
And I hope that Oppenheimer High was awesome for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I really do, Jones. My boy, motherfucker Jones.
Yeah.
Perch, do you have one? Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one that's a little bit like TMI, but I
Oh,
thought it was
no,
funny.
seriously,
Yeah.
We love TMI.
Okay. My husband peed while he was inside of me.
Wait, that's possible?
I guess so.
I thought it was like impossible to do that.
I guess it is. This is so embarrassing, so I'm going anonymous. I won't mention any names or ages. My husband literally peed inside of me last night while we were having an intercourse. It freaked me out, and I didn't know how to handle it. It was so weird, and I really can't put it into words how I felt, but I do want to point out that I'm upset because he previously told me about trying to do it, and I already said no, but he went ahead and did it anyway. I was completely caught off guard. I did not agree to this weird experience, and I definitely didn't enjoy it. We had an argument, and he said I killed the fun with my reaction, but he already knew how I felt about it. He's still hung up on the fight, saying how I overreacted for no good reason and at all, but I don't know. I found it really unpleasant and just weird.
So he did it on purpose.
Yes.
Yo, that is so what?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That is really fucked up.
That's fucked up on his part.
That would make me feel
Also,
so dirty
That's
and disgusting.
nasty, dude.
Yeah,
How do you get
shit
that
shot
out?
off.
I don't know.
You have to sit there and wait for it to fall out of your fucking vagina. That's how.
Oh, God.
And some of
so
it will
gross.
probably just be stuck up there for however long. That's fucking
Yeah, that's
disgusting.
how to get a UTI
and I am
101,
pissed
bro.
for her. Yeah.
Yeah,
What if that alone probably did give her a fucking UTI?
that's fucked up.
You're supposed to pee after sex, and she's peeing two
Like,
people's
sure, if
pee.
she was into it, maybe.
I mean,
Yeah.
given
Like
I know
people
she
got
said
their
she
weird
didn't like that,
kinks.
but you never know. That could be a kink of hers.
But
so
clearly
maybe
it wasn't, though.
It
in
sounds
his
like it's a
set-
kink of his.
Yeah.
that's fair.
But it's one of those things that is so out there that even if they had talked about it before and she said she was down for it, if you're gonna suddenly decide to do it,
Yeah,
like you
you
should
can't
still
just, like, do
be
it.
like
Yeah.
again, like, hey, are you sure this is okay? Because
Yeah.
I'm about to do this.
Yeah,
That's fucked, and that's really nasty, and I feel
Mhm.
bad for her.
that is nasty.
That's kind of just like
It's such a violation.
he knew what he was doing. too.
Yeah.
That's why it's kind of like, ugh.
And he knew she didn't like it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
How though?
How do you, how do
well,
you
I
get
guess-
married with that guy, knowing that he's
Can
like
you-
that type of person?
I thought so. You can pee with a boner.
I guess so.
You can
I heard-
pee.
does
Yeah,
it
you
just-
can, but it's like I thought it was like impossible
I
if
would've-
you're having sex
Yeah.
to pee.
I would have thought it was like painful to pee with, unless he went
It's not
like
that bad.
soft and then pee.
Nah.
You can't even go in.
But, like,
shout
what if
out
you-
to my fifth
but
grade
what-
teacher. He made it very
But
clear
what
in
if
Growing
he
and
was
Changing.
already in,
Yeah,
and
what
then
if you were just, like-
when-
Like pizza doughing yourself.
So what? You just sat
like,
in there?
smash it.
Oh,
Ew.
that's so fucking gross.
Like, I mean, like the whole concept of like morning wood. I know you can, like, that's the whole concept of morning wood is like you pee first thing in the morning
Yeah.
with a woody. But like my growing and changing teacher made it he made it very clear that it's like
Growing and
biologically.
changing things.
He made it very clear in 5th grade for me that like there are certain things that biologically cannot happen when you're doing this act.
I'm not finding it hard to believe that he was able to do it. I just
Yeah.
find it hard to believe that he did it and that he wanted. I genuinely have never heard of this kink before. I've never heard of anyone wanting to do
Yeah.
that.
I've heard
I know
of the
that
peeing
some
kink.
people like pee, but not like peeing inside of someone.
I don't
I've
know
never
about
heard of that.
I know like peeing on people is like some
Yeah.
BDSM type of
Yeah.
stuff, but
But I mean, I assume that if you can pee with morning wood, you could force it out while you're.
you probably imagine how focused he has to be.
I just can't imagine, like, did she just, like, lay there the whole time he was peeing? Like, did he pee, like, fully? Like, he 100%?
I would hope not.
I
with
hope it's
with
maybe
a full bladder. That's like a minute worth of pee going inside of her.
Ugh.
So do you think that...
That's terrible.
so
That's
gross.
that's actually so gross.
Yeah.
How... Would he still have to pee after sex?
No.
Because guys get UTIs, too.
Yeah.
I mean, probably eventually he would, but
Well, if he was like, this is fucking gross. But if he like peed in her and then pulled out right away, I would assume that all of his bacterial shit is gone, and it's inside of her instead.
yeah, that's the whole
Yeah.
part of peeing is just to cleanse
Right.
Dude,
the urethra.
in all seriousness, though, that is seriously messed up, and I feel so sad for her. And honestly, I would fucking... Is she married to
Yep.
him? Dude, I'd fucking... leave
What's
his ass.
what's her? Do you know her Reddit username by any chance?
It was like anonymous.
Oh, you're
links
right.
or something.
She said that.
Yeah.
Dang. Oh, that would have been funny
Yeah.
if she like had her name.
No. That's... I don't know. That's just, like, disgusting to me.
That's
Anything
bad.
non-consensual in sex is just not...
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not it.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. I hope somebody, like, pees inside him one day.
Whoa. All right, this one is called Backstabbed. So I, 20 female, and my boyfriend, 20 male, are saving up for a house. Where we live, it costs a lot of money to buy even the simplest and cheapest furniture, so you can even guess the price of a house. We've made an agreement, we made an agreement 18 months ago. I would save up for the house now and he would buy the furniture. Now I have saved up a lot, but I quickly found out that my boyfriend was very bad at saving. So I tried to help him and guide him. He plays a lot of games on his computer and sometimes buys things for his games. I told him that he had to stop. So for the next 16 to 17 months, I let him be and focused on my part. Yesterday I started talking about our future again, as I tend to overthink and become too worried about money and money trouble, so I wanted some clarification. And to my surprise, I found out that he barely had saved up more than when I left him to do it alone. I feel backstabbed by him, as I talk a lot about money trouble, not that I have ever been in it, but fear to be in it. Not ever have I once tried. On Saturday, I'll sit down with him and look through his bank and into his accounts with him to where we can see where all his money goes, and I'm deeply disturbed by his betrayal. I know some of you may think we're too young to buy a house together or anything. It's also kind of hard to explain, but we knew we were going to be parents together one day. We have our own house and our own future in our plans. So please don't turn this into some young stupid thing because I did not see the signs or whatnot. I just wanted to get this off my chest, and it has made me rethink a lot lately. Sounds like she's like 46 living in a 20-year-old's body.
I'm not gonna lie. I zoned out the first half, so I'm still thinking about that last one. Can you sum it up for me?
Basically, boyfriend, girlfriend were wanting to save up to buy a house. They were going to save up individually, and she was going to purchase the house or like the down payment,
Mhm.
and he was going to buy the furniture. It's very expensive to buy furniture in a house wherever they live. But he basically, we'll just say, he started with $1,000, and then a year and a half later, she was like, "Oh, how much money do you have saved up for the furniture?" And he was like, $112 or $1,012. So he has saved basically nothing, spending all the money that he's been using while she's saving all of her money, and she
Yeah.
feels betrayed because like she thinks they're not going to be able to buy the house and buy the furniture and everything that they need.
Okay, sorry, but like from the start, it was an unfair deal that she was going to buy the house and he was going to buy the furniture.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, you can buy a house for like 3.5% down. So like 3.5% of like $100,000 house is like $3,500. But like for a $500,000 house, if that's what you're going for with a really small down payment, it's not even like 20 grand. So
but is she going to keep paying for the house and
I would
he's
assume
not
they
gonna?
split
Well, no,
after that.
she was gonna pay for the down payment just to get the house, and then he was gonna pay for the furniture, the couches, the bed, like everything to go inside of the house. Now, it might be relatively unequal, but also I guess we don't really know what. Who knows? They could have really, really expensive taste, and they want a $7,000 couch.
Yeah.
Because like, and I kind of think that was the vibe and like their agreement going into it. Is like, otherwise, and then they were both gonna pay for the house every month for the mortgage. But I'm kind of like, well,
She had to know before all of this that he was not good with money.
Yeah. Well, she found out 16 months later.
16 months later that he only saved $12.
Yeah.
that was just a number.
Oh.
Just because I was just saying that because she said that he started with a pretty much the exact
Yeah.
amount that he originally had.
At least he didn't spend the grand.
Hey, the grass is always greener
Yeah.
on the other side, chick.
She can just
Yeah.
learn for next time that she just manages all of the money.
Was she saying that she wanted advice or that she just wanted to get it off her chest?
She wanted to get it off her chest because I think she just is frustrated.
Yeah.
And
Well,
she was-
I'd be pissed.
And she was like, don't hit me with this. That's too young, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Because, I mean, you're 20 years old buying a house, it's possible. But, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, furniture can get pretty expensive. Like,
I mean, it sounds like she saved her part.
yeah. Oh, she did
Yeah,
save
Yeah,
her
she
part.
definitely did.
But they're going to go
She's just-
through his finances in a meeting. Like, them two are going to sit down and go through his whole bank
I
account
would
and see
not.
what
Dude,
he's
I would be
spending his
so
money
scared
on.
going into that meeting.
So would I.
Not ever. If he saved almost nothing in that much time, I'd be like, we're not getting a house together. I can't
Yeah, that's
trust
fair.
you to pay for anything.
But that's her turmoil though, because like she
Right.
feels like they have had plans to be parents together and like live their life together. But
I'd be
they're both
rethinking
20.
those plans because I'd be like, how is he going to support our fucking children when he can't save anything in 16 months?
True. Like say, I mean, you can live pretty
Also, who the
frugally,
fuck is
and you
spending that much money on games.
I
Like
know.
I spend money on games, but not that
Yeah.
like
fucking
that
much.
like that
That's
much money.
insane.
Like what is he buying?
It'd be one thing if he used all this money paying for something important, like an unexpected medical bill or something like that. But he just bought random shit. It's like what we talked about in the other podcast. Like people who just are so bad with money, it's like it's childish to
Yeah.
me. And I think if he can't save money like he committed, like he made a commitment that he would do this with her and he didn't follow through on his part, it's just like, is that someone that you could trust building a future with? Because it's expensive to start a family. It's expensive to own a house.
Yeah,
And I think it's just going to be a big burden on her.
that's fucked on his part.
I'd be pissed.
Well, what's gonna happen is say they both grow up in like we'll just say 10 years, they're like super successful, making a whole boatload of money. Like, is he just gonna spend all the money on a bunch of
That's what
it
random
sounds like.
stuff
He's
that
gonna
has
blow it.
that has nothing to do with the house? Like, is he gonna go buy a
Yeah.
Mercedes
They live in South Dakota. He buys a boat.
But like,
in the middle of winter?
like I said, though, it's like even if he agreed to keep paying for the house after the down payment, it's like I wouldn't count on him fucking doing that.
Fair.
She's going to get stuck with everything. And now it's like, so what are you going to do? Are you going to give him more time? Be like, okay, we'll buy a house in another 16 months. What if he doesn't have anything saved then?
Mm-hmm.
Then
Seems
it's
like
like-
they kind of have to do that, right?
Then that's like 32 months of your life that you just waited,
Yeah.
wasting. You just wasted it waiting on this fucking man who can't save a fucking dollar.
But they're in love. Seems like she's happy with it.
I wouldn't love him anymore.
But is that his only flaw? Because if he's
That's
A-
a big flaw, though.
but
That's
if he's
like
A plus with literally everything else, how do we know the money he's spending isn't on her and food and
Yeah.
this and that? And a little bit on video games.
So much money on her that he doesn't have any money saved.
What I'm curious, what I want to know, and this is so TMI, and I would never know. I want to know like what their income is, because it's like, well, if he's not making a lot of money, honestly, it could be hard to save a lot of money if you're not making a lot of money. If you like have rent and food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I can understand that, but like if he's making a decent amount,
Yeah.
or even like not even paying for
He
rent,
has enough. He has enough to spend on games, so he's got a little bit of
But
positive.
Yeah,
and
that's
again, he
true.
didn't save like anything.
Yeah.
like anything.
It'd be one thing if he just like didn't meet the goal that they wanted.
That's pretty.
If
tough.
he was like a little bit short of what they were expecting. Yeah, I could work with that. That's
Yeah.
fine.
What's your little short amount? Like a
Like,
couple thousand, or like
Yeah, let's
Like,
say,
it
let's say their
depends.
goal was, I don't know, 15 grand.
Yeah. Say he was at, even if he was at like 10 grand, that's still like, okay, like it's not ideal.
I agree.
And I'd probably be like, okay, like I still am down to buy a house with you, but I do think that we need to wait a little bit longer and save a little
Or
bit
maybe
more.
you could live without a dinner table for a couple
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get one couch. Make sure you have
Or
a
get
comfy
slightly
bed.
cheaper stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like invest in a really nice bed and
Yeah.
mattress.
Yeah.
Maybe get like a small couch
Mhm.
that will do, and then eventually buy a bigger
Mhm.
couch, and
Right.
that small couch will be your like guest seating or something. Yeah.
But if you were going for that 15 grand and you started at 1,000 and you're at like 1,500, like, dude, I'm not buying a
Like-
fucking house with you.
Well, because he's 20, so if he's either in college, living in a dorm, and we don't know his financial situation, but like if he's not paying rent, or like if
Mhm.
he's living at home and he's not paying any rent and not paying food,
Yeah.
like he's spending
Yeah.
a lot of money on those video games.
It also comes across to me like maybe this was more her idea than
Yeah,
his. And it
definitely.
just shows like he's not ready for this.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
if he's not, that's okay, but it's a conversation that they need to have. But like
Yeah.
if he's always known in his mind that he's not ready for this, he should have said that from the start rather than let her sit
Mhm.
here for
Yeah.
over a year thinking
Mhm.
that they were about to buy a house.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Kind of scuff. Okay, here's one, and then we'll do this one and then just wrap it up.
Yeah,
This will be
that's
our
fine.
last one. So so I've been sexting a guy who has a girlfriend.
Nice.
Fuck up, you asshole.
So, okay. So I talked to this guy for a while, and things got really heated. We would sext all the time, and then afterwards, he would just unadd me. I thought it was
Dude, fuck that.
I
guy.
thought it was just post-nut clarity, so I was fine, but he would keep coming back and would keep going at it. One night, I made him swear he wouldn't do it again, and he promised. After we were done, he unadded me. I was pissed. The next day, he adds me back, and I lay into him. He finally breaks down and tells me he has a girlfriend, but doesn't want her to know that. But he really likes me. I'm at a loss because I've created such a bond with him. Now I found out I'm the other woman. We stopped sexting, but now it's awkward. I really like him as a person, but I know he only likes me for my ... assets.
Okay, bruh. How could you find out you're the other woman and then be like, but I really like it? Like, I'm a firm believer in how you lose them, how you get them is how you lose them.
Mhm.
He will absolutely do that to you if you end
Dude,
up
I
with
say this
him.
shit all the time, but just fucking break up with your significant other if you like someone
Yeah.
else.
Fuck that shit.
Like, come on. Like, you obviously have a more fun
Yeah.
time sexting this one girl than
Yeah.
with your fucking girlfriend.
Yeah. I think that like it's so terrible because
Yeah.
it's like she's finding out she's the other woman. Now they both are like digging on each other hard, but now he's like at a crossroads because he's like, well, I really like my girlfriend though, but I really like you.
Dude, that's so fucked. He's just like, he like nuts and then unadds her for the
Yeah.
day.
How did she even meet him?
I don't know. She doesn't
Yeah.
say.
The fuck is this guy?
I wonder if I can.
And I'm sorry, but she's a dumbass for continuing to entertain him throughout
Yeah.
all of that. It was already a red flag when he kept on adding you. That alone is like a problem. And then you find out you're the other woman. You still stick around. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And then he's still proceeding to be like, yeah, I do like her, but I also like you. Like,
Yo,
there's so many problems with this guy.
the comments are kind of fire though.
Are they roasting her? I hope-
Some are, some aren't. So the first one is, if he would cheat on his girlfriend, he would cheat on you.
Facts.
Mhm.
And then the next one is, unless he's going to get serious and is willing to 1, tell her the truth about you and leave her, or 2, choose her and stop stringing you along, you should leave. It won't be easy and it will hurt, but your feelings matter and he needs to realize that. Queen.
Yeah.
And then the next one goes, what are you asking? Block him and find someone who likes you more than your assets. Now that you are aware you are the other woman, you are at fault as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then someone commented on that. She commented on that. She's going, I'm not asking anything. It's off my chest for a reason. This was 30 minutes ago.
Damn.
She posted this 30 minutes ago. Yo.
I do agree with that, though. Like, at the minute that she knew that she was the other woman, like, she is equally at...
Right.
Like, she's guilty.
Oh, yeah. She literally needs to say, okay, you either cut it off and we do something, or we stop and I unadd you.
Yeah, you have to cut it off one way.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
There's
shit
no...
never
You
works.
you cannot do both.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But I do think that this guy, though, like, what an asshole. Like, he, at the end of the day...
horny.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Literally shut the fuck up.
I'm
You are giving me the
kidding.
ick so hard right now. You give me the fucking ick so
joking.
No, but it's like he's the one who has a commitment to someone else. Like,
Right.
realistically, this girl is still an asshole if she goes for it.
Sure.
But, like, she doesn't know this girl. She has no obligation to her.
Yeah. It shows how much he's at fault because, like, if he's so torn between it shows that, like, he probably is not ready for a committed monogamous
he just can't
relationship.
Be alone.
Yeah.
No. Which, and honestly, hey, that's fine. Some people can't be alone at certain stages in their
just
life.
make sure all parties know that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but don't go around sexting a girl only whenever you want to get a nut,
Right.
and then just go buy your girlfriend lunch and then go have a date or something. Like, you can't do that.
Right.
He's in the wrong, but she's also just
Yeah.
as much in the wrong for,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I agree.
now that, I mean, she didn't know until recently, but, like, now that she knows, it's on her
Yeah.
just as much.
It's also so unfair of him because obviously this is not what the girl did. But say she was one of those stand-up people who is like, you have a girlfriend, like, that's fucked up. I want nothing to do with you. That's an unfair position to put someone else in. Because I would feel horrible if I had been talking to someone and found out I was the other woman. I'd feel guilty, even though it's not my fault.
Yeah.
But it's like, now you've just made two people feel really shitty for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Other than because you wanted to bust a nut.
True.
Or if you have, like, a girlfriend who, like, doesn't put out as much as you want them to, that's a conversation you need to have with your girlfriend rather than finding other chicks and sexing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hope that you can get that little bit of extra.
Yeah.
Where you, honestly, if you were honest with your significant other, she probably would say, you know what? Okay, give me some time. Let me figure out how to help.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I'm not even going to, like, give him the benefit of the doubt in this situation, though. Like, I feel like even if you were dating someone and you told them, like, I want you to have sex with me more, and they weren't down, that doesn't give you permission to just go cheat. You're still in this relationship.
Yes.
It's more his fault than it is hers.
Yeah.
Especially that he was not, like, when they first started, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And realistically, he probably knew that she didn't know.
Yeah.
So then when he, like, broke down about it, then I think his emotions got the better of him.
Yeah.
If I'm her, I just say, okay, me or her, pick right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you pick her, great, I'll just unadd you and we're never going to speak again. Simple as that.
He was actively, like, thinking about, like, I have to unadd her, one, so my girlfriend doesn't see, but also because I don't want her to know that I have a girlfriend. Like, he kept making the same choice of, like, deception.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw him.
But, like, seriously, though, I will say, fuck girls like her, too. Like, the fact that she's even sitting here considering, like, oh, but I do like it. Like, you want to be with a guy who's cheating on his girlfriend for you right now?
The first comment said it all. If he cheats on his girlfriend, he's going to cheat on you.
How you get them is how you lose them.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Sir, yes, sir. Sorry, yes, sir. Yes, Drill Sergeant Coon. Yes, Drill Sergeant Coon.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Links are down below. Peace out. We'll see you next week.
Fuck Austin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dropping.